Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. So today we're going to be continuing with what we left off with yesterday, which was that there's some complications around tracking the damage that's being done as part of the Vampire Fangs artifact that we were working on. So I'll get into all that in just a second, but that's what we're going to continue with. Before I get into that though, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. This is a great way to support me. It's a 2D goofy roguelite shooter. So if you want to support my work, this is a great way to do it. I also have my new Create a Complete online co-op multiplayer game in Godot 4 course on Udemy. And this is going to teach you basically everything you need to know about the essentials of making an online game in Godot. You learn server authoritative architecture, remote procedure calls, the other high-level networking nodes. And this course just generally, I think, teaches you how to think about multiplayer development because it's a little bit different of a way of thinking about making games compared to just making a single-player game, because you have to synchronize all the state and you have to make sure that clients have proper ability to do certain things. So if you've been interested in making an online game in Godot, check out this course. This is linked in the description below. And there's one more thing. And that one more thing is that I just published a new website. This is at godotcourses.com. So I just released this like last night, got the domain all set up and everything. So this is also linked in the description below. This is not actually like anything super important for you all watching right now. Mostly this is just a landing page that I built to capture any sort of Google searches that might come through for Godot courses. But I figured I'd just mention this here. So all this does is this just links out to the Udemy page with my referral code. So anyway, you can check out this website if you want, but yeah, that's what I've been working on. And that's the reason why we're basically going to continue where we left off with the game yesterday, because I was spending all of my effort making this. So anyway, let's get right into it. Hello, iCode Stuff. Welcome, welcome. Emerson, good morning to you. Good morning, Aniki. Nick Uke, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Seems most of your games use the vampire theme as a palette. Interesting. Vampire theme. Most of my games do? I don't know if I agree with that. But maybe. I actually made it here at the beginning of the stream. Welcome, Ninja Link. Good to see you. So yeah, the problem is, finally caught the beginning instead of the end of your stream. Welcome. So we got two people got here on time. Awesome. Welcome, Thomas. My favorite internet megastar has arrived. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. So yeah, where we left off yesterday was we created this Vampire Fangs artifact. Sorry, I have my phone notifications on because in another saga of interesting home ownership, I'm having a tree on my property inspected for termites. So I need to be paying attention, so if the exterminator guy's coming. It never ends. It never ends. Anyway. So these Vampire Fangs, they deal 50% lifesteal, or gain 50% lifesteal, but lose 5% of max health every turn during combat. So the way that this is implemented is this is essentially just dealing damage to you every turn, equal to 5% of your max health. So if I do this, you can see that I'm just losing health because of the Vampire Fangs here. And so the reason why, so it's fine, it's working, but that damage is not being added to this turn history object that I have, which is like a running log of everything that's happened during a combat encounter. And that turn history is used for things like the slime, which does damage reflection. So what the slime does is that it uses this damage taken provider to look at how much damage the player board has taken since the last time the slime executed. And then the slime deals damage directly based on that number. So the problem with the Vampire Fangs not adding its damage to the turn history is that it does not synergize with the slime currently. So it would be really disappointing as a player to say, wait a minute, I've got this vampire fangs that's dealing all kinds of damage to me, and I got this slime that deals damage based on the damage that gets done to me, so I can combine those and get like a super powerful slime, right? And the answer right now is no, because that vampire fangs is not hooking into the system. So there needs to be some refactoring done here to basically make all of the damage that can be done to the player or anything, it needs to go through the same like pipeline. It needs to go all through the same code so that the system is really consistent and that everything that's doing damage is being logged properly inside of the turn history. So that way things like the slime, when they read the turn history, they'll have those numbers, right? So anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying it's broken. So this is the Vampire Fangs. This is where the damage is being dealt. This is completely bypassing that turn history. Everywhere else where the damage is dealt, it's being accompanied by a turn history log. So I think what I ideally want to do is probably change maybe this to require the turn history. The other thing I could do is I could just like copy paste this and put this in the Vampire Fang, but I kind of want to make this in a way where if I just call damage on the board, it just handles all the tracking for me. So I still haven't decided how exactly I want to do that. I think I could maybe expand this damage context. Object to include the target board and also include the execution context. Where is this being used? Let me see. I think this will work. Maybe not. Let me see. Where is this being called? I might just create a helper instead. So instead, because I need to grab the target board first. So because there are some abilities where the target board is yourself or the target board is the opponent. So I can't make an assumption about what the target board is that's going to be receiving the damage. So I need to determine that at the level of, you know, actually executing the damage. So I need the target board first. So what I might do is... how am I going to do this? This is tricksy. Very tricksy indeed. What do I have currently in my utils here? Where even is the damage context? Board combat component damage context. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. So fire damages the shield. That damages the shield. This is gonna be hard. Put a termite in the game and kill them repeatedly for revenge. Yeah, seriously. That sounds like a gnarly power. Hello, Michael. Welcome back. That's the downside of having a mansion. Just kidding. Yeah, I wish I had a mansion. Actually, I don't wish I had a mansion. I would not know what to do with all the space. Thank you, Snupbill, for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Always appreciated. And where's our Yummers? Oh, there it is. There's the Yummers message. Thank you, Snupbill. Always generous and always good to see you. Hello, Awab. Welcome back. Have you ever felt hindered by using C# over GDScript with regards to the Godot engine editor compatibility? Seems like a no. No, I think the only minor annoyance is like with the tool scripts. It's very easy to create a tool script in C# that just completely breaks everything. So you have to be very careful about that. And of course, the problem is that because it's working off of like the compiled code for the tool script, like if you brick the editor with a tool script, you have to like modify the tool script in your IDE and then rebuild the project from your IDE and then reload Godot. So that can be a little bit annoying, but I don't use tool scripts that often. And if I was really worried about like creating lots of tool scripts for my game, I'd probably just write the tool scripts in GDScript, depending on what kind of functionality they needed, and just call it a day, you know what I mean? Hello. Oh, wait. No, I already said hello to you, Emerson. You're not getting another hello, but we got Yummers. Hello, Nibs. Do you ever get to a stage when creating a game you start to think, this is rubbish, no one will play it, I'm wasting my time? I'm making a simple idle gathering game and constantly think this. I mean, I think that's normal. Maybe not that hardcore, but I think you should be constantly questioning whether your game is actually fun or not. And the only way to validate if it's fun or not is to get it in front of players. So you want to get people to play test it, get people to download your demo, get feedback. And trust me, the players will let you know what the problems with your game are. So yeah, use the people that play test your game as a resource to determine if it's fun or not. I think part of the issue too is that as a developer, you know so much of the ins and outs of your game and you spend so much time playtesting it that a lot of the surprise or, you know, a lot of the excitement of the game goes away. And so it's hard to dispassionately judge your game, I think, if you've been working on it for so long. But yeah, you also, I think that's a normal feeling, but you kind of just have to work through that and yeah, just collect feedback and see if you can, maybe people disagree with you. Maybe people will say, oh, this game is really fun. I love this. If only it had this X, Y, and Z feature, it would be perfect, you know? Or maybe people will say like, yeah, there's nothing going on here in this game. I don't like it. So it's hard to tell. Title promises me fun stuff. My expectations are high. Ah, yes, but was it sarcastic or not? What's the crowns? The crowns? Is there crowns? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, YouTube's got the... Oh, you're in the number 2 spot, Adam. Emerson took the crown from you. Sorry about that. I don't know what that is. Maybe I accidentally enabled something. What font are you using in IDE? Cascadia Code. Microsoft's Cascadia Code. Good morning, Schlurgy. Finished up the Survivors course last night. I thought it was really well made. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Symphonic. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Still have the bonus content to go through, but it seems to be mainly adding new content, not necessarily new systems. Yeah, that's going to be the pattern of like bonus content, is really just building on what we've currently built on. I think there are some students that will like understand, you know, and then they can go off on their own and do whatever. But then there are some students that need like the repetition, like they just want to see more examples of doing the same thing. And that's totally fine too. I have a crown and number 2 by my name. I'm the top fan. Number 2 on the podium, number 1 in our hearts. Okay, Adam. No, you're all number 1 in my book. They're ranking based on donations and such. Interesting. I may have accidentally turned that on. I don't know if I like it, but maybe it'll create more engagement. Maybe I should engagement farm all of you. A few months ago, you talked about creating a multiplayer course that would include things like scene level switching. Does your Udemy course include that? The only scene switching that happens in the multiplayer course that I have is going from the main menu to the multiplayer lobby, and also going like from the game back to the main menu when the game ends. But there's a lot involved in that, right? You got to get the connections established. You got to synchronize the scenes. When there's a disconnect that happens, you need to kick all the clients back to the main menu. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. If you're looking for like RPG style zone switching, that's definitely not in there. The other thing about the multiplayer course, by the way, that I should mention is that I also show you how to make the game purely single player with the same code base, which is actually relatively simple. So it's a single player and a multiplayer game. There's a single player mode in the course as well. Something new, it's active by default, I think. Gotcha. It says I have 75 XP. You gotta level up. You gotta level up. Any chance of Fire Kidding doing some coding? He is currently sleeping, like usual, so he's a lazy bum. I was really hoping for RPG style level switching. Yeah, I think that if you were to do that, because of the way that Godot high level multiplayer works, you probably wouldn't be able to use the high level multiplayer nodes, I don't think. You would have to write your own synchronization code for a lot of things, I think. But I haven't thought about that problem specifically. Pixel art is hard. I can't. It can be hard. It can be. The crown is also mostly who has the most messages and streams. Oh, well, yeah, engagement. You all have to start spamming the chat. You're not going to level up unless you spam. All right. I've always wanted to make like a like one of those stream games in Godot. I don't know if I can do it with YouTube though, but it would be kind of fun to have little avatars running around on the bottom of the screen that I like hand draw and everything. But oh well, I have too much work to do. Okay, so how are we going to do this? I kind of feel like shoot. What am I gonna do? Okay, I think what I need to do is probably rewrite some of this. So let's do this. execution context. Let's pass in the execution context there. That's going to break all kinds of things. Let's focus on this damage case first. So we have these public methods here. We're going to make this private. Okay. Okay, so there's that damage. So we got to get the target board first, that's fine. We do have to create the damage context. So this becomes damage, and I have to pass in the execution context. Ugh, stop it. Execution context. Get rid of this is crit. So really, I just want to get this down to like these two lines to damage a board, and then all the rest of this stuff needs to be handled elsewhere. So damage, and then we need to provide the damage execution context. So we want to do physical damage. The damage amount here. So this is going to be a slight change in the logic, but I think that's okay. Does this become get magnitude? Final magnitude. Oh, final magnitude. So these three lines are basically what I want to do. So now we're going to get rid of this. So this damage here, if we damage physical, then what we're going to do is, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to worry about the shield later. Let's get the current history entry at the top. This target board becomes owner. Damage physical, remaining damage. So in here, we need to damage the shield first. So var equals damage shield. Damage context dot damage amount. Damage context dot is critical hit. And this returns shield damage dealt and remaining damage. So we could track the shield damage dealt. Private board, owner board. Owner board is equal to, we'll do owner this becomes owner board, damage shield, this needs to become remaining damage. And we're going to track those later. There's a bug on my wall. Well, I crushed it. I don't know where it went. Oh, I found it. Anyway, goodness. Okay, so now the damage, this basically just becomes this now, which probably could be further simplified, but I think that's okay. So basically, I just want to route all the damage through this singular damage function and then have that do all of the history tracking and calculation for me in a very standard way. So that should work. I'm going to have to test this very thoroughly, but I think that's okay. Okay. So you're saying I need more puns and sarcastic comments? Challenge accepted. Oh no, this might be bad. You could use stream avatars. Well, I want to build my own thing. Does your course contain the concept of state machines? Yes. We actually use the callable state machine that I wrote in GDScript, and I also show you how to synchronize that state over the network. I think to let you customize the sprites, all in the stream avatars. Is it just me or YouTube ads getting insanely frequent? I don't know. I have the ads for these streams set to conservative. So YouTube's definition of conservative might be entirely different than my definition of conservative. I mean, my definition of conservative would be like one ad every like 20 to 30 minutes, like a 10-second ad. But if it's more frequent than that, then yeah, I'm sorry. We get XP now? Yes, you do. So you gotta grind up from level 1. Fixing bugs even in real life, yep. Debugging IRL, yeah. Yeah, YouTube did beat you to it, that's for sure. They're getting very frequent, the ads, I mean. I think it's because YouTube wants more money, obviously. They need some competition, they have no competitors right now. Yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, sorry about that. I can maybe turn off the ads for the live and then turn them on for the VODs maybe, but we'll see. I might have just gotten unlucky, got an ad when I clicked in and then another 3 minutes later. Should I go the other way? Should I put ads on very aggressive? You get an ad every 2 seconds. YouTube Premium. How is ad rev for game dev YouTube? I hear it's awful. I am, based on my catalog of content, I'm making like $250 a month. So it's not a lot, but like it pays for groceries for a couple weeks. So, not bad. You could keep ads, get your bag, yeah. Yep. And you gotta listen to my ads too. Goodness. Alright, so now the poison. Damage, we're going to do the execution context in there. We can get rid of this. So now in the poison damage here, owner board, damage context.damage amount. Okay. Oh, we don't have the execution context in here. Oh. So this poison heal is an interesting one because it gets called on combat started. Process turns. I might have to move this around. Because it'd be kind of nice to have that poison heal also do the same thing. So this one, what Poison Heal does is it just takes 75% of your health away. Now the question is, should anything that triggers on combat start count towards the turn history? It would be kind of wild to get this and a slime, and then the first turn the slime goes, it does like... Wow, that would be very powerful. Let me think. So this one is a little bit different because it triggers only once. And so I don't know if it should go into the turn history, or if it should just be a debuff that you start with. Let's do this. Public void damage without tracking. I'm just going to put an int damage amount in here. I'll think about this later, but I think what I want to do is just damage physical. I think what I'll do for now is I'll just do damage without tracking here. Yeah, I'll just do that for now. We'll fix that later if we need to. Execution context. We're going to need this again. So damage fire. I don't trust this. Get away. Damage context dot damage amount. What? Can I make these blocks? I think I can. We'll just scope these so that way I can use the variable names. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Necrosis status. Okay, then we go to the board combat component in Necrosis. Okay, so are we tracking all the damage? Oh, this is redundant. Huh. Oh, yeah. So now everything should be flowing through the same damage function. And now in my vampire fangs, I can pass along the execution context there, and that should add it to the turn history. This doesn't need to be here. Is this source board ever used? I need to know if I need to put the source board in there. I probably should put the source board in there. Not in the fire status or the necrosis status, but at least in the... Oh. Yeah, it's in the place where it should be. Okay. I have no clue if this is going to work. But I've kind of shuffled everything around, so let's go to my run manager. Populate player cards. Slime. All right, let's see what happens. Hello, Falitao. Couldn't join lives last week. How's the game going? It's going well. It's going well. Came so close to great promotion segue. Hello, Ali. You can opt out of leaderboard participation. Oh, did you opt out, Adam? Oh no. Adam is out of the race. Not to brag or anything, but my highest score on Balatro is E11. What is E11? What does damage context, execution context mean in the code? So damage context is an object that contains all of the parameters around how the damage is being applied. So like what damage type it is, whether it's a critical hit or not, and the amount of damage. The execution context is an object that contains all of the data about the currently executing turn. So it's just, I mean, the execution context is just a big object. So the execution context has the source board, target board, inventory components, the card stat that is being executed, which is the card that's being executed, the turn executor component that is responsible for driving this card, the turn context, which is another object that contains the turn history, as well as the artifact context, which is just data about the current state of the artifacts. So the idea is that I gather up all the game state that's necessary for doing my various card executions into this execution object, and then I pass this execution object around the code base to do my various combat operations. So that's basically all that it is. All right, so let's see this. Equal to, so it's going to do 50% of the damage that I take. Let's see if we can actually track this. It did 9 damage. Is that 1, 2, 3? It seems to not be working. Hold on a second. I don't think it's working. Wish there was an easier way to track it. Oh wait, maybe it is working. No, I think it is working. Let me do it again. So this takes 10 damage from the vampire fangs before it executes, and then this dog is dealing 9 damage. So if we take 50% of that, that's 19 total damage. This does 50% by default, so that will be 19 divided by 2, which is going to be 9.5, which it rounds down to 9. So yeah, if the slime deals 9 damage, it's working correctly. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I think we're good. Oh, it did 10 damage that time. How in the heck did it do 10 damage? Well, I think it's working. I think it's working. What else do we need to try? What else did I change? We're gonna try the various shield stuff. I think it's gonna work though. I think the code is logically the same. But let's see, arming sword, here we go. We'll be able to see if the shield damage is being handled properly now. Yeah, it did 3 shield damage. Perfect. I think it's working. I have some other interesting cards to test, I think. Oh, maybe not. I think it's working. I'm pretty confident that that change was pretty minimal. Basically just shuffled some things around, that's all. Cool. Let's add now one thing, which is the, let's see, run manager. Let's add the poison heal instead of the vampire fangs. Let's see if that works. So I took 37 damage, and when I go, I really shouldn't do that much damage. 3, okay. So that's working. So again, this just does damage outside of the turn context. So yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's okay. Turns ads on every 2 seconds. Now I probably much prefer Gunforge to ads at the beginning of every stream. Yeah, I like the art style of Gunforge. You made it yourself? I did, yes. Looks like our favorite niche internet, eCeleb, made some homework on the YouTube community. Did I make homework? What kind of homework? So after expecting a flavor text stream because of the title. Oh, sorry about that. Copilot autocomplete really annoys me sometimes. It does, yeah. Hello, Ariane. Welcome back. John, welcome to the stream. Starting my first Godot project, but I'm getting a bit confused because there's a few projects, big ones in C#, but I got recommended GDScript. So many teams. Yeah, I think use GDScript. I mean, it's... If you're not familiar with C#, there's no reason to use it. C# doesn't give you any benefits, like any concrete benefits over GDScript in the vast majority of cases. So it's a matter of personal preference. Use whatever one you are happy with. All crowns and particle effects were too Twitch-like for me. I understand. 11 is big bumpers, 10 to 11. Oh, I see. Big numbers, yeah. Hello, Ezabi, welcome back. Maybe it should have a counter overlay on the damage it's gathered. Yeah, I would love to do something like that for sure, but probably not for the public playtest. What happens when you use the mutton when you have fangs? It will just heal like normal. Well, first of all, the mutton is not a player card, so you can't get that card anyway. Hello, Xander. Hello, Ryan. Welcome, welcome. Welcome both. How about an artifact that equals your health to your blood? So by spending money, you lose health. Oh, that's an interesting one. That is a very interesting one. All right. I think I did the necessary refactoring now, so we'll undo that. Okay. Light refactoring for damage tracking purposes. I feel much better about this system now because now whenever I call damage on this board combat component, it's going to handle the shield damage logic for me, and then it's also going to track the damage for me as well. So that's great. Excellent. Okay, so actually we ended up doing this one, Vampire Fangs. That's done. Cool. I don't know what this is referencing. Bleed status effect. Oh, a bleed status effect would be cool, but probably not. We're trying to get toward a small public playtest of the game here, so let's see, what can we add? Actually, there's something I want to try. What? Oh, I got rid of the slime. I added an effect for when a card becomes exhausted. And I want to see if that works with the Phoenix. Oh, I still have the Vampire Fangs. I might not even last long enough to get there. Ow. What the heck, chicken? Ooh, yeah, it does work. There's the exhausted effect. Okay. You know what else I need? I need a way of increasing... Currently, the alchemy event has no way to increase the grid size, so I want to change that. Anyway, let's do another card here. What do we want to work on? For some reason, the art of this game reminds me of Loop Hero. I love it. I've gotten that comment a couple of times, but yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. That's a great compliment. I like C# because it forces me to think about typing, class creation, and such. I know you can do it in GD, but it's optional. Yeah. Hello, I'm almost done with the demo of my game. Can you give some tips on how you deal with marketing and stuff? That is something that I'm still trying to figure out myself, so I don't know if I can offer anything super helpful. Most of my marketing is just done with like YouTube, but if you don't already have a YouTube audience, then it's kind of not a very useful piece of advice, you know? So I wish I could give you some better advice, but I don't know. I was following this idea of also doing the art, but now I'm more inclined to use assets. It's faster to learn Godot and create more projects. Later I might go back to doing my own art. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. This is Obsidian, Xander. Obsidian with the Kanban community plugin. My first game project was a flop. Yeah, you're probably gonna, I mean, a lot of my game projects were flops. You can go to my Steam like developer page and you can see all kinds of games that I really don't mention or advertise at all because they're not that great, number one, and number two, they didn't sell very well, so I should add a new card. I will do that. Are you using shader color deathing? Deathing? I don't know what that means, Ryan. Maybe more card pickup events, opportunities. Yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to change that, actually. Let's see. Make boosters give all cards. I definitely want to make that change. I think booster packs should give you all the cards instead of one. Stealing a card off the enemy board can only be used once. I would love to do that, yeah. But, again, we're going to try to keep it narrowly focused on the public playtest. Man who runs up front of car is tired. Man who runs behind car is exhausted. Okay. All right. That's really funny, actually. What if you ever run out of colors for your statuses? I already have, yeah. But I'm sticking with it. Hello, Ailey Ant. That guy really cracked the stream meta. Hello, Himanshu. Welcome. Okay, tell you what. I'm going to go on a quick couple-minute break. You know what I'll do, actually, is instead of going to my typical, like, pause screen, what I'll do is this player art idea column is here. These are all of the card ideas that I have in the backlog. So, ooh, a Mosquito would be fun. Actually, we're doing the Mosquito. Sorry, I'm not going to let you guys give me any feedback about what you want me to work on. We're doing the Mosquito. So, never mind. All right, so give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and then we will make a Mosquito card. Should it be like a Mosquito swarm? Well, here's something to discuss while I'm away. Should the Mosquito card just be a 1x1 card, or should it be like a swarm? Should it be like a 2x2 or a 3x3 even? Let me know. The idea behind the Mosquito is that it's going to deal a bunch of damage, and it's going to get added to a damage bank, and then after it goes through, you know, whatever, 2 or 3 executions, it does bonus damage based on the damage that has been banked. So basically the idea behind this is that if you can buff the Mosquito with a lot of crit damage and crit chance, then it's going to have even more damage that it can do when it does its banked damage in addition. So yeah, but let me know what you want, if you want the card to be 1x1 or a 2x1 or like whatever dimensions you want to see, and we'll discuss that when I get back in just 3 minutes. All right, I'm back. Hello. Oh yeah, I already said hello to you, A the Ant. You laughed at my joke that's never happened before. Has it really never happened before? Has it really never happened before? This is a dictatorship. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Mosquito was my feedback, so win. Yeah. Swarm. A the Ant wants a swarm. We almost got a chat pick a card competition. We'll do that some other time. Could do some poison like malaria. Oh, interesting. My comment was removed because it contained a link. I said that the best resource for indie marketing is the how to market a game web. Oh, I see. That's the guy that cracked a Steam meta. Gotcha. Yeah, you can't post links, unfortunately, and I have no control over that either. But, yeah, I guess that's a good resource for sure. I think a 2x2 mosquito swarm could work. I think the bank damage needs a good incentive because taking the risk of waiting 3 executions needs a payoff. Maybe it's a guaranteed crit or something. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Or possibly percent health damage of the enemy. Maybe even 3x2. A 3x2. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, we could maybe do a 3x2. If you use diapers, you won't need to have a break. Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. I think you're just giving me a hard time. Okay. 3x2 is a dimension that I haven't done yet. So that's an interesting one. So since the card is going to be larger than, if it's a 3x2, I don't know. Let's see. We might have to do something like give it a guaranteed crit. But I actually don't have a 3x2 card. I've got a 3x1 card. Oh, interesting. So this is what a 3x2 card looks like. I'm gonna have to draw a lot of mosquitoes. What are you guys doing to me? I'm gonna have to draw a lot of mosquitoes. Okay. I think what I need to do here... Oops. Three by two mask. And then I need the border mask. Oops. What am I doing? Okay, did I set up all the masks? I think I did. Yeah, there should be 2 masks. Okay. So there's 3 by 2. We'll save this now. Card, new folder, Mosquito, Swarm. Mosquito, Swarm. Load default palette. All right, now we gotta figure out how to draw some skeeters. How are we gonna draw some skeeters? I'm thinking if I can just create like a bulbous underside, which I already did this wrong. I might actually save this as an A-sprite file because I'm probably going to have a lot of different Mosquito layers. So I'm going to need to handle that, but let's do this. We're definitely going to need the proboscis. Okay. And I'm on the wrong layer again. Lock that, paste it there. Okay. I kind of want to make them like real bulbous and filled with blood, but I don't know. I think I need a slightly different body structure here. I think the problem is that this just needs to be rotated a little bit. So let's start over. This probably just needs to be even higher. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I think that'll work. Yeah, that's a better shape, I think, generally speaking. I'm going to create a new layer because I don't want to ruin the legs that I've got, or the bulbous thing that I've got going on. The problem is that when I do my little styling here for the legs, it looks a little bit weird. But that's okay. I mean, that's not a bad looking mosquito. It looks kind of weird, but it's not terrible. Do mosquitoes have antennas? I think they do, right? Well, it looks kind of like, it looks a little bit disturbing. But I think that's fine. Wonder if I can make the wings look a little bit... I don't know, the wings look too solid to me. Maybe another irregular shape. That's the only one so far is the lantern. Oh, too late. I mean, 3x2 is a shape we don't have yet. Make sure you don't save over, yeah. Hello, Chris. Busy morning, yes, indeed. That's on you for listening to us. Wow, that's huge. Yeah, it's a 3x2, but I'm drawing the Mosquito pretty big, so. Unrelated to Mosquito, how about a new status effect called Insanity? Could have some cards that give it causing misses and increasing the chance to get hit with crits. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Let me write that down. Chance to miss and take crits. I don't really have a concept of missing either, so that would be kind of interesting. Reminds me of that thing from Star Wars. Yeah, it does. Squidward from SpongeBob. I can't see the mosquito. Man needs a reference? No, I don't. The mosquito's fine now. Mosquitoes don't have antenna? Of course they do. Never mind, I'm a liar. Now it's a bit better. I feel like the nose should be a bit longer. Hate these annoying bugs. They are teeny tiny, yeah. I mean, these are like, this is like a monstrous mosquito. I hate how you just be making decent art in like 5 minutes. I spent 1 hour on a cat sprite and doesn't turn out well. May need to adapt some, or scale animations instead of frame by frame. Yeah, that's, I mean, the reason I'm not doing frame by frame is like, you know, I'm pretty confident with my ability to create static sprites, but once they start animating, they're just gonna look weird, so. Drawing without reference is impressive. Thank you. Mosquito. I mentioned this before, the reason I don't use references, at least when I'm trying to initially do the art, is because if it doesn't turn out well, I went through the process of doing it wrong, and then when I go to the reference, I can say, oh, like, here's the pieces that I'm missing, and here's why I did it wrong. I feel like if you start with the reference and you just draw from that, you kind of lose that element of like trying and failing and then sort of internalizing why you failed at drawing it. I don't know, it just feels like if I just try to do it on my own first and I fail miserably, I learn faster than if I were to just start with a reference, you know what I mean? References are very helpful though, don't get me wrong, I use references quite frequently, it's just I try not to use them when I'm first doing the art. I mean, the one thing, I think the only thing I don't really like about this so far is this leg here. E, why is that working? Oh, here. That doesn't look that great either. It looks kind of like a fairy that's been mutated. What if I take this one and I just move this up a little bit? No. See, the problem is I want to maintain this bulbous part. I want to maintain the bulbous part, but I want to maintain the bulbous part, but if I put legs in there, because of the way I'm doing my separation with these black pixels, it ends up carving into the bulbous blood part, and then I lose that definition. So I think I just need to figure out what to do about that. Anyway. Almost wonder... Let me try doing some legs again. Maybe I just don't need the legs to like overlap. Maybe I can just... It just looks weird. It looks like a fairy if I do this. What if I front load the legs? Maybe that's what I need to do. I think the legs, so the legs of insects, they come from like the middle part. So I wonder if I take this, let's just move this out of the way for now. If I create like a little body section here where the legs can come from, and then I take this and I move this back. It creates a little bit of a different shape, but let's move this over. Now I should be able to do legs. Does that look better? What do you think? Oh, I just frinked a bunch of things up, but I think it's okay. Oh, what happened to my... Did I undo this? Oops. I had this line going up, which I liked. I think now that I think about it, mosquitoes do make me insane. Yeah, they do. I really do pixel with references. Mutated Fairy sounds like a sick card, yeah. I think the sucker needs to droop more. Fairy with a mosquito head. The stinger would be cool red. Mosquitoes don't have stingers. What kind of world are you living in? Although, a mosquito with a stinger would be a cool extra mutation. But, remember that insects have 6 limbs. Yes, but I don't have enough room to draw. I think... Like the spider that I drew, I think only has 4 or 6 limbs, so I'm not being accurate. You can do them in a zigzag with a leg coming up and then down like a real mosquito. Yeah, but the problem is I just don't have the room to convey that, I don't think. That looks good. You like this better? It looks peak. Looks better. I already hate it. Would make the back thinner, but otherwise looks good. Is that too much? Or did you prefer the more... Did you prefer the more bodacious version? Is that thinner or... I mean, I guess thinner would be longer. Like that? Thinner and longer? Don't mosquitoes typically turn more bulbous though when they're filled with blood? That's what I'm trying to convey here. I'm trying to do a mosquito that's filled up on blood. I like insects and bugs and creepy crawlies. I do too. Looks like an evil mosquito, which they are, yes. thinner and longer. Lucas, welcome back. Thinner and longer is more accurate. Is it? Hold on. Oh, I guess you're right. I'm not gonna show this on stream because it's kind of gross, but yeah, I guess you're right. Well, I'm gonna do what I have anyway. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. I'm the dictator here. I get to say my word is final. Hello, Dragon Apple. I'm Lurker. Welcome, Lurker. Somebody's gonna say hi, Lurker. I'm dead. Level 3 Mosquito Gyat. Do cards will have different art versions for different phases? You can make the blood sac bigger as the crit chance gets bigger. That is an interesting idea. I do have a sort of system for doing that, but it would require a lot more work to get it to work with like skeeters here. I'm just gonna call this Skeeter 1. So now we gotta get the swarm. Do I have to redraw this a bunch of times? You know what I could do is I could give it some depth, I guess. So what I'll do is I'll keep this here. Can I not transform these at the same time? Hello? I can't transform these at the same time. Okay. I guess we're flattening this. This is not going to work. I'm going to have to redraw things. I don't want to draw the mosquito a bunch of times. I wonder if I can cheat a little bit. Oops. So that one already looks a little bit different just because it's got a different pose. So I think that's probably what I'll do is I'll do one where the wing is down some more. So I'll take this, duplicate this skeeter, shift that down. Oh wait. What in the heck? How in the world duplicate? Okay. We'll take this. We'll flip it down. Maybe I'll get rid of this one. I don't know what I'm doing. That actually doesn't look terrible. Just move some things around, really. Make them look different enough. And then what I do want to do is I do want to create little tiny skeeters in the background. So let's see if I can do this. See if I can just create real tiny Mosquitos with darker colors so they look like they're in the background. Did I really put this? Skeeter 3. Skeeter 4. I mean, it's not great, but don't really know what to do beyond this. Problem is I don't have another darker color here. I guess I could make this all like that and then I mean, it looks okay. I like it better, bigger. Anyway, oh, Dictator. You ruined my day. Skeeter was born bodacious. Yes, seriously. Hello, Neozoid. Control Z, Control V, best art. It's my fault for making you a 3x2. I think 3x2 is interesting. Just write times 1000 next to the first Mosquito and call it a day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Brute forcing it, yeah. Maybe some mosquitoes can have exaggerated features like bigger bulbs or a longer proboscis, etc. Yeah, that's a good point. You could probably get away with having only 3 top left, bottom center, up, top right. Yeah, I think so. In terms of the main ones, I think what I want to do though is see if I can at least put like one more down here, maybe. Let's see, Skeeter 1, put this there. Just trying to find a good placement for these things. And then again, this, I think I can just reorient this a little bit. Oops. Probably will need to rotate this. That doesn't look good at all. Okay. You know what I might do with this gear here? Oops. Is maybe I'll put it kind of that it's like behind something, or maybe just like, I mean, I think that's probably fine actually. You know, it's all right. It's okay. Skeeter and ticks, yeah. Oh my goodness. Good afternoon, Camillo. Hello, Tom. I'm amazed that you've done so much with such a small palette. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Do you find that in Godot for your UI that you deviate from it a lot to make things legible? No, I'm rigidly adhering to my color palette and also my font sizes. I'm treating those, for the most part, as immovable constraints. And so that's why, that's why I kind of make some weird decisions sometimes. It's because I'm trying to, a lot of my decisions are just about working around the constraints that I've adopted. When you think about starting to add sound effects, very soon. My friend is actually, I don't know if he's going to finish it, but he's working on a track right now, a music track for the game. So depending on how that goes, I'm gonna pay him if I end up using the game or using the track that he makes. But so I've got that in the works, and if that doesn't end up working out, I have a very clear idea of how I want the music to sound. So I will be shopping around for composers that can do the kind of thing that I want. And then for sound effects, I already started experimenting a little bit. I mentioned before that I want to do like crunchy, like 90s sound effects. So I want to take like high fidelity sound effects and then like bit crush them down so they sound a little bit low fidelity for the various sound effects and whatnot. And I think I can do that with just a real-time like post-process effect on the sound effects bus, I think. But that's something that I'm still experimenting with. So yeah, I'm starting to think about that. I'm starting to do some experimentation with that. And there's definitely going to be sounds in the game for the public playtest, because I think that's going to be a huge part of the theme of the game. So we'll see. It's game dev once again. Yes, indeed. Hello, Kelso. You're too good at pixel art. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if anyone's interested, I'll call it out again. I have a video on this channel called How to Get Good at Pixel Art with No Art Skill. And in that video, I share the 5 most impactful tips that I learned that made an immediate impact on the quality of my pixel art. So if you're interested, go watch that video. And I think you'd be surprised at how good those tips are. Not because I gave them, but because like they're really effective at getting your pixel art to look immediately better. So, and they're very easy tips too. They're tips that you don't need art skill for. They're just certain rules. Excuse me. Wow, I guess I'm dying. They're just certain rules that if you follow them, even if you're not a great artist, your art will look immediately better. So check out that video if you're interested. Okay. So I think we're good to go. So I'm going to export this as Mosquito Swarm. And we'll go ahead and add that into the game here. Create new resource, card definition resource, Mosquito Swarm. So this is a 3x2. Turn cooldown, let's do 5. Let's do minion. That's just a minion, I guess. Critical chance. We'll give it a crit multiplier of 2. Base crit multiplier. Yeah, there's a couple of interesting questions here, but that's all right. I'm just going to go ahead and create the Mosquito Swarm card now. Okay, so Mosquito Swarm, this is just going to be this Mosquito Swarm, and we'll just give no abilities here for now. Card registry. Mosquito Swarm. Go to Run Manager here. Cool. Let's see what happens. How close are we to playtest? Hopefully within like a month or so. Hopefully within a month. Hope you're always in good health. Thank you, Kelso. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Hello, Julio. Good to be back here. Game's looking sharp, man. Congrats. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, there's our Mosquito Swarm. It doesn't even fit on the board that I have. It's a very big card. Yeah, we're gonna have to make this card very powerful since it's so big. Oh, goodness. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just enamored with the dim shader, I guess. Okay, but anyway, it's in the game now. So let's see what we can do in terms of the ability now. Deals damage and adds damage to bank. After X executions, it applies big damage based on the damage banked. Let me think. Do we want to keep that, or do I want to do something else? Let me think. Adds to... I like the damage bank idea. The problem is we just need to make this card powerful since it takes up so much space. Bleeding Curse. I just had to deal with a client reported issue where the output map was not showing the pin for the address they entered. Oh, interesting. Let me guess, the client did something wrong. Anyway, so yeah, let's get something written here. I actually don't know what to do. Turns out the backend was using a really old geocoder that only resolved to like 8 decimal places. Oh, interesting. That is an interesting problem. What about GMTK 2025? I am going to be participating in that. Yeah, that happens in a few weeks, right? Now I got to figure out how to do an ability that I want to do here. Could it deal % missing health so it gets stronger as the combat goes on? Yeah, I could do that. I like the damage bank idea, though. Let's see. Let's do a new damage bank. GMTK Game Jam video? Yes, I will be doing a video for it, for sure. Yes, I will. So I definitely want this conditional decorator, I think. Get modified critical chance. Man, I don't know. Let's see. So we got the damage ability here. Execution count provider. I definitely want this. Conditional decorator. What are these crowns? Why am I 11th? Not even top 10 is shameful. Yeah, I don't, it's a new YouTube feature. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I really don't know if this is going to work that well. No, I think it will. I think it'll still be useful. Dynamic damage ability. Damage taken provider. How am I going to do this? Hold on a second. Board combat component. Track damage dealt. Yeah, it's not storing which card did the damage, so that's okay. I need to track how much damage this has done. Do I want this dynamic damage ability? I don't currently have a concept of tracking the amount of damage that a thing has done, so that's a problem. I have a damage taken provider. Need like a damage dealt provider too. Wow, this is gonna be hard. Mosquitoes carry diseases, right? What if it applies necrosis? Well, necrosis is like the special status effect that happens if combat goes on too long. But I guess it's a possibility that I can do that. It's based apparently on interacting with the chat. Yeah. It's all weird trying to be Twitch. Yeah, yeah. Current game jam is really similar in a way to yours. Do you have any tips to build out games like these? I mean, I don't know if I have any like very insightful tips. Obviously, a lot of it is about the setup of your code and the architecture and like making things as flexible as possible. But it's kind of a balance. You don't want to make it too flexible too early, because that can create a problem in and of itself. But then, if you also don't design the code with enough flexibility in mind from the start, it can be very difficult to work with as well. So, yeah, I wish I had tips for you, but making this kind of game is kind of new for me as well, so I don't have like a tried and true pattern for doing this. I think there's just a lot of inherent complexity to these games that I don't even know. There might not even be any sort of like globally applicable advice. Like right now I'm just struggling because I'm like, how am I going to get the numbers that I need in a sensible way? I'm thinking I might have to, in my turn history, I might have to log the damage that individual cards do, because this track damage dealt is just an overall damage value. So I may need to actually associate damage with a card as well. I may have to do that. I may have to, because then I can do a damage dealt provider, because basically the way that this is going to work is that it's going to bank the damage that it's done, and then it will apply big damage based on damage banked. But I don't have a way of tracking that number that this thing is, the damage that this thing is doing. So I think I might need to modify my turn history to also have the stats delineated by card as well. So I don't know. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the $2. Thank you very much. Very generous. That will go straight into my McDonald's fund for later this week. Thanks anyway. Your streams are really insightful. Thank you. Thank you. Just realized you're constantly working without music. You're a robot. Yeah, I'm making you guys listen to the music, but not me. I mean, I'm talking anyway, so it's keeping me entertained, I suppose, but I do usually play music when I work, or I play music often when I work. He's trying to build a spot on the podium. Yeah, did you go up? Oh, number 1. Chris is number 1. You all got knocked off the podium. That's hilarious. That's very funny. Yeah. Oh, goodness. We'll keep each other entertained, but only you get paid. How does that work? Yeah, seriously. $2 gets you 100 points. I wonder what $100 gets you. Any takers? Any takers? Let's see here. What do I want to do? Well, you know, tell you what, I need to get ready. I have termite inspection coming soon. So I'll probably end the stream there. I need to give this some more thought in terms of what I want to do for this ability, but I'm glad that we got the card done, at least the card art and everything. So now it's just a matter of, yeah, getting that ability working the way that I want it to work. And even if I end up not doing the damage bank thing, which I think is a possibility, having that damage dealt provider that's delineated by specific card is going to be very nice. So I think I do want that, so I'm going to need to work on the turn history some more, but that'll be it for the stream today, everybody. So again, check out my new course, Create a Complete Online Co-op Multiplayer Game in Godot 4. It's got a couple of ratings so far, so if you take the course, if you buy the course, not only does that help me, but I would appreciate if you also left a review. The ratings really help. We need to get this hot new badge off and get the bestseller badge on. So yeah, if you're interested, check that out. The link is in the description below. Also, I set up this website, GodotCourses.com. So this just links out to Udemy. So it doesn't do anything special, but if you want to check this out, you can check this out too. This is also linked in the description below. So yeah, thanks again everyone for watching. Let's see, mobile doesn't have the leaderboard. Boo. Actually laughed out loud. Get dethroned by $2. That's hilarious. Why pay billions when you can pay millions? Yeah. All right, thanks again everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for the support. I very much appreciate it. I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. Okay, bye-bye.